Each and every decision, or each and every, see, we're live and I made a mistake already. Whoop, start over, re-edit. Each and every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. Okay, just try. Just try. Get out there. No big deal. Do what you can with what you got and be happy for what you accomplished. All right, so I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This yoga is live, start to finish. No cuts, no edits, no nothing. It's just real, like being in a real class. I practice every single day for 1 hour, and I do different types of practices. Today's is all on your mat. Join us every single day to make yourself stronger, more flexible, more mobile. It works. It really does work. And the beauty of it is you're doing it from your own home. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's doing a handstand when you're trying to struggle through child's pose. It's no big deal. You just do the yoga your way. Stick around for the whole hour or stick around just for 10 minutes. But give it a go. Give it a try. Like I said, today is all down on your mat. Nothing special, you just chill out and enjoy and don't hurt yourself. That's the biggest thing. The bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. Everybody's body is different and every single day is different. Some days things hurt and you think, where'd that come from? Like yesterday, I got a request to do some things for our hips. And we did, but where did that hip pain come from? Where does the shoulder pain come from? Every day is different. Honor your body, don't hurt it. If something hurts, don't do it, skip it, no big deal. Go back to a child's pose or just take the pose to a lesser percent. And I'll show you some little modifications today to help you do that. All right, so you're gonna use some props today. A couple of yoga blocks, if you've got them. If you don't have them, no big deal. And see what you like in the practice and maybe go buy the blocks later on today so you can have them for tomorrow's practice. All right, you're gonna also want some water and a strap. And the strap could be the belt to a robe, totally fine. Just ways to modify the practice. You could sit in a chair and do the practice, whatever you want. I'm gonna be down on the mat for our typical Wednesday practice where everything is down on the mat. You decide what you want to do. That's the key. All right, so lock in a stress number in your mind. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, what are you feeling stress-wise? Give it a number and focus on this word. The word today is kindness. It's one of the fruit of the Spirit. Kindness. Kindness means to be of good nature. Just be kind. Be a little kinder today. Wouldn't the world be a wonderful place if everybody were a little kinder? Be kinder to each other and be kinder to you. Be kind to you. Thank yourself for being here to do your yoga. Just do it, have fun, and just be kind to you. All right, so let's start. You're gonna start in a child's pose. So for your child's pose, you're down on your mat, you're going to come onto your knees, and you're going to use a block if you want, and you could also put a towel under your knees if it's too much on the knees. If you don't wanna do that, sit any way you like, and just relax. Close your eyes and just let it be. Just come into this moment. Sometimes the relaxed space of a yoga class is the only time you can slow down and breathe and find your headspace. So take advantage of that. All right, so let's come to a child's pose. Knees can be together and your big toes can touch, and you can just come forward and put your head on the block. Maybe you've got a chair in front of you and the chair is at a perfect height for you to rest your head on. But you just want to kind of let go here. You rest your head on your block, you can rest your shoulders down, adjust the block to whatever height you like, whatever feels good, because you want to feel a lengthening of your spine here. I'm going to take a wide-legged child's pose. That is spreading your knees wide. It's not rocket science, right? It's just yoga. Put your hips back toward your heels. They can sit on your heels or not. Head can be resting on the block or not, and your arms can be reaching long to the top of your mat. Doesn't matter how it looks. We've got lots of alternatives here and how you want it to look, but you want to feel some lengthening in your spine. You want to feel your tailbone going to the back of the room, and you want to feel your fingers reaching to either your feet, to the bottom of the mat, if you're in a classic child's pose with your arms down by your sides, or you want to feel the arms reaching to the top of your mat, if you're in this extended child's pose. Big breath in through your nose and big breath out through your mouth. Try to find stillness here as you imagine your spine getting longer. Imagine your tailbone reaching to the back of the room and the crown of your head to the front. And in your breath,
just find your perfect little place of peace here. Deep breaths in, feel your lungs expand. And deep, full breaths out, let all the air out of your lungs. Focus on the deep, deep, deep breaths. Most of us breathe way too shallowly. And the full breaths are so good for your body, so good for your brain, as you find perfect peace right here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. With each full exhale, when you really try to empty your lungs just a little bit more, imagine your tailbone going more to the back of your mat. When you're ready, close your lips if you like, and just breathe in and out of your nose. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. This is your child's pose. Stay here as long as you like. Maybe you stay here for the whole practice. It's all good. You've got to do what feels good for you. In this pose, maybe you're feeling the nice stretch in the ankles and the knees and the quadriceps, the front of your thighs. Maybe you're feeling a nice stretch in the arms or a release in the shoulders if your fingers are reaching to the back of the mat. Spine is long. You are at peace right here, right now. Turn your head a little bit from left to right. Give yourself a little forehead massage and just move the neck. As you're ready, slowly press on out of this pose, or remember what I said, stay in it if you want to. I'm going to come on up and I'm going to take a toes pose. Now for toes pose, what you want to do is come to like standing on your knees. Tuck your toes towards your shins. You could take a block and place it behind your heels and have a seat on it. Totally fine. Rest here. Rest into your toes. More easily said than done. Think of the nice stretch in the feet. All right, you could have no block behind your toes, or maybe you could hinge forward a little bit if it's too much intensity in the toes. If it's just uncomfortable, settle into it. If it is painful, come out of it. All right, so we're gonna do a little something different. So you have a seat on your heels. Take your hands, interlace your fingers, and bring them under your chin. Try to get your elbows to touch as best you can. On an inhale, let the elbows release from each other and think of the elbows going up to the sky. As you exhale, let the elbows float back down to touch each other. Inhale, elbows go up. Exhale, elbows come down. Eyes can be closed, and you just take a few moments here, letting those elbows really, really come up. And exhale, letting them float down. Keep with it if you want, or let's tee out our arms. Tee out your arms and draw little circles with your arms to the sides of the room. You could also take your hands, bend your wrists, and imagine your palms are touching the sides of your room. Take your circles in the other direction, either with the fingers up or pointing to the side of the room. Just try something a little different. And then finish up. Bring your arms back to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. Tell yourself something positive about yourself. Tell yourself, I can do it. Yes, I can. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Interlace your fingers again. Extend your arms. And then do like figure eights. Sideways number eights here as you squeeze the webbing of your fingers. Ooh, feel those wrists. Breathe in. Breathe out, let it go. How you doing in the feet? This has been a long toes pose, but your mind has been off your toes. So how many things do you need to take your mind off of so you can get through, right? All right, let's come out of this toes pose. Wiggle your fingers. Let's come out of the toes pose. Ooh, and let's go into an ankle pose. Place the tops of your feet down on your mat and sit on back to your heels here. You can bring your hands down by your sides or use your blocks. Press into the blocks and let your knees come up. So stretch your ankles so it's a stretch in the opposite direction. So just breathe here and maybe try to find your balance without your hands or without your blocks. Just try. You just gotta try. Give it a go. Maybe hands to prayer center. Tell yourself your little mantra. Maybe try to close your eyes. Or maybe none of this works. Maybe you want your eyes open and you want your hands down. Maybe your knees are just a little bit off the ground. Maybe your knees aren't off the ground at all. Don't sweat it. It's only yoga. All right, let's come out of it. Hands down, neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle your ankles in both directions and then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Like a drum roll, right? All right, so if you got a strap, we're gonna do cat-cow, and we're gonna do cat-cow pulling its tail. If pulling the tail, that's when you lift the leg up and you capture the foot and you kick into it. If that is just too much, you can use a strap. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. All right, so cat-cow, neutral tabletop, knees under hips, wrists over shoulders. Lengthen through your spine, push the tops of your feet and your hands into your mat. So back is nice and flat and you're thinking length in the spine. Exhale the air out of your lungs, tuck your chin to your chest, send your gaze back up towards your belly button and tuck your tailbone under as you push into the mat. Inhale cow, just the opposite, crown of the head and tailbone lift. I think cow feels so good in the low back. Well, for that matter, so does cat. They're complementary poses. You're finding that range of motion movement in your spine. Cat, you're pushing the earth away, arched back to the sky. Cow, your belly comes down, your tailbone and the crown of your head goes up. So you don't even think about the movement in your neck here, do you? But you're moving that as well. Let the tailbone feel great. Move your spine comfortably through this. All right, so one of the benefits of cat pulling its tail, so just wiggle your hips from side to side like a dog wagging its tail. One of the benefits of cat pulling its tail is it's a cross-body movement, so you're getting lateral flexion of your spine. All right, so we're just moving the spine, moving your bottom here. Maybe shake your head a little bit left to right. Try to bring the ear toward the shoulder, then the other shoulder. Just move your spine. All right, so come to your neutral tabletop. Let's do cat pulling its tail. All right, so here's the deal. If you've got a strap and cat-cow pulling its tail has been elusive to you, maybe slip the strap around your foot. And you're gonna pull on this strap with the opposite hand. So bring the strap into the opposite hand. Come back to your neutral tabletop and lift that foot up and pull the strap toward the front of your mat as you pull, lifting that leg, feeling it in the quadriceps, and hold on here. There's a cat pulling its tail using your strap. Totally fine. Keep at it. Little movements here and there feel good. Or you could lift the leg up without the strap. You could just kick yourself in the bottom. Maybe that's what you need today. And take the hand around and reach and capture the foot and then kick into that hand. So any of these is good. It's a cross-body movement. You're twisting your spine a little bit. Look to the left side of your mat, look to the left side of your room, or try to look over your left shoulder. It helps to push hard into the mat. Kick here, you got it, strong. Hand comes down, knee comes down, other side. So same thing, just switch the strap to the other foot if you want to use it. Neutral tabletop. Capture the strap in the opposite hand behind your neck. Then you're going to lift and pull that foot up. You can play with it a little bit with the strap. No strap is fine too. You can lift the leg, bring the knee to hip height or a little higher. Kick the heel in toward your bottom. Maybe that's where you want to stay. That's a good sensation too. Or push hard into your foundational limbs. Reach the opposite arm back and capture that foot. Kick into the hand. Feel the opening of the right collarbone here and look to the side of your mat, the side of your room, or over your shoulder, whatever works. and then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. There you go. You did cat-cow, a little bit of a different way. Just know that there are lots of ways to do things, lots of alternatives. The fact that you're here is A+. Give it a go. All right, cat-cow, even everything out naturally. Tailbone, crown of the head tuck. Then they lift. Do a couple more if that feels good. All right, we're gonna do bird dog next. Let me show you an alternative. If you're not liking it on the knees and you just don't like bird dog, here's a way to take it. Lie down on your back, extend your legs long, reach one arm high overhead. I'm gonna reach my right arm and I'm gonna reach my fingers to the top of the room. I'm gonna point my left toes and let it be. I'm gonna let my right leg bend and I'm gonna work it up toward my chest so I can hold it here. Imagining a long straight line from my right fingertips all the way down to my left toes, and then I will switch it. So you can do the same thing. You can do it reclined if you want, and don't think, oh, I'm a lesser citizen for doing it that way. It's all good. You just got to ease into it. All right, so classic bird dog. I'm going to lift my right leg, knee to hip height, leg extends, draw the toes toward the shin here. Press into the mat, hips are equidistant to the mat. I'm going to lift my left arm because my right leg is lifted and I'm going to stretch here. I'm going to stretch and I'm going to push the ground away. That helps. I'm going to lengthen through my fingers. I'm going to lengthen through my heel. I'm going to feel the compression in my low back. I'm going to be strong as I push into the ground. So with this pose, what you're after is just a feeling, a sensation of lengthening the spine. You'll feel the compression in the low back as you gain strength there. Hold it here. Alternatives, remember if you're lying on your back, you do the same thing. Draw your elbow to your knee and then extend. Elbow to the knee and extend. And then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. You can send the left leg long. You can send the right arm long. If you're lying down, it doesn't matter. Do the same side, do the opposite side, it's up to you. Just what feels good and finding length in the spine. I'm gonna lift my leg a little higher, then I'm gonna touch elbow to knee and extend. Elbow to knee and extend. When you are touching elbow to knee, you're on an exhale because you're creating space in your belly. Lengthen and touch elbow to knee. One more big lengthen because I want to really, really feel that lengthening of my spine. I want to feel longer, taller, stronger. Hand comes down, knee comes down. How are you doing? Let's tuck chin to chest, tailbone under, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, tailbone and crown of the head lift. Nice job. Have a seat back on your heels. Thunderbolt pose. All right. So you're seated on your heels just like you were when we went into that ankle pose. So just sit here for a moment. If it doesn't feel good, extend your legs long and just have a seat. We're going to do the big hug pose. Extend your arms long. Draw the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Feel your chest lift. Big hug. Nobody can have too many hugs. Bring your right arm over your left as they cross in the front of your body. Cross the arms, reach your fingers towards your spine. Your shoulders are going to be up near your ears. Release them down. Your shoulders, try to expand them to the side of the room. Feel a tight, strong, big hug while in this thunderbolt pose in the legs. Tee out your arms again. Chest lifts. Relax your hands really to the back of the room and then do your big hug again. Opposite arm on top this time. Hug your fingers towards your spine. Release your shoulders from your ears. Expand your shoulders to the side of the room. Breathe. Release. Let it go. All right, send your legs long. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So spread your legs wide. You could bring a block or two in between your legs, or no blocks at all. You can push the blocks out or push a block out or no block at all. Just push it out. Just kind of something to reach for. Fingers are a little bit lifted. The block is bringing the ground up to you, or you can send your hands onto the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, come back up to seated, tee out your arms, and let your opposite hand reach toward the opposite foot. Bring it on back up. Opposite hand, reach toward the opposite foot. A little bit of Pilates, work it in, right? Kind of like a modified saw pose. Breathe. Nice.
All right, never forget that you've got the power within you to be free from distractions, false impressions, lies, and the crush of just everyday chaos, right? All right, so that's good. Nice job. Come back, legs together. Lengthen up through both arms, up high to the sky. Think of length. Remember bird dog? Think of the length in your spine. And then hinge forward, reach forward as if you're handing someone a gift. You could even take your block and say, oh, I'm going to hand that gift to someone. Reach. Reach. Your gaze is still forward. Your chest is still forward. You're not looking down quite yet. You're reaching forward, forward, forward. Then bring your hands to your feet, your ankles, your calves. Hug your elbows in towards your knees. Then look towards your knees. Lengthen up. Exhale, fold in half like a paper clip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold a little bit more. All right, slowly. Shoulders come up over your hips. Nice job. Okay, so let's come into a crisscross applesauce position in your legs. No big deal. Don't have to go into Sukhasana or anything. Just sit here. Let's bring our head to the midline of our body. Lengthen up through your spine, hands on your knees. Stay here if you like, or turn your head right to left, left to right. Get into your neck. You know, nothing huge today, just movements that feel subtle and good, and just get your body moving in every way possible. So important. Bring your head back to the midline. Tuck your chin to your chest like you did in cat, and then send your chin up toward the sky like you did in cow. As you tuck your chin and extend your chin up to the sky, feel what you feel in your neck. Just take a moment here. Feel what you feel in your neck. I think when the chin is tucked, you really feel it in the shoulders along the back side of your body. When your chin lifts up to the sky, you really feel the tautness in the front of the neck. And then finish. Let your head float back to the midline of your body. Lift your left arm up to the sky, bend your left elbow, take your fingers on your left hand, touch the top of your right ear, and then let your left ear work towards your shoulder. So your hand is a little bit of leverage here. Soften in the right shoulder, and just feel a nice stretch along the left side of your neck. We felt a nice stretch in the back and in the front of the neck. Now we're feeling it in the side of the neck. All right, let your head float back to the midline of your body. Release your left hand down to your knee and take the opposite side. Lift your right arm up, bend the right elbow, take the right fingers, put them on top of your left ear, and encourage the right ear to the right shoulder. Soften in the left shoulder. Okay, so there's some articles in yoga that say that the yoga movement, the stretching, like we're doing here, is supposed to be so good for the arteries and the veins, keeping them flexible, mobile, keeping them lubricated, well, maybe not so much lubricated, but keeping them supple. That's the better word. Keeping them supple, and that's important. All right, let your head float back up to the midline of your body. Let your hand come down to your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest again. Let your chin go up to the sky again. Come back to a natural position and just let your head float around comfortably on your shoulders. I don't know what that feels like for you. If it's uncomfortable, don't do it. If it is painful, don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, kind of work through it a little bit. Just turn your head left, turn your head right. Do what feels good. Doesn't matter how it looks. Remember that. It remembers how what matters is how it feels. That's what's important. All right, so come back to your head at the midline. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. And I'm going to come into a crocodile pose now, so you've got to move. Sorry, girl. All right, so for your crocodile pose, this is for your low back again. Come on down to your belly. We do this occasionally. All right, bend your elbows so your elbows are towards the sides of your mat. Stack your hands on top of each other. You're lying on your belly here. Get your hips comfortable into your mat. Bring your head down and rest it on your stacked hands. Shoulders are soft, elbows toward the side of the room. Maybe lift one leg up off the ground, then the other leg up off the ground. Maybe lift both legs up off the ground while keeping your head glued to your hands. Just hold it here a little bit, see how you like it. And then bring the legs down. Now we're going to do the opposite side of the body. Your hands and head are still glued together, and you're going to lift out of your chest and your elbows on an inhale.
So first take a big exhale, let everything go, let your bottom relax, let your legs relax. And on your inhale, lift on up a little bit or a little more, what feels good. Come on down. Let's do the legs again. Legs lift and hold. Maybe you take them a little higher. Maybe you say, I'm taking them a little lower. Lower the legs all the way down. Relax in the glutes. Lift on up as you inhale into the shoulders. Don't hold your breath. Breathe. Come on down. Feet lift. Feet down. Shoulders lift. And then come on down. Let's call that quits. Slide your hands under your collarbones. Press on up into a seal pose. Elbows straighten as best you can. Soften in your glutes. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Come on down. Come on down. Elbows are bent nice and slowly. Come all the way down to your belly, but take it slowly because you're in control. We're going to do broken wing. So once you're down, chest is down, tee out your left arm. Tee it out. Right arm stays bent underneath your collarbones. Roll onto your left hip as your arm is extended. Now everybody, it feels different and everybody's different. It feels different in your body. What you could do is bend your elbow. Maybe that feels better. Maybe it feels better to snow angel your arm down a little bit. Do what feels good because you just want to feel a nice stretch here in your shoulder. I'm going to roll onto my left hip. I'm going to use my right hand to press into the earth to just intensify that stretch a little bit. You do what's right for you. And your legs, don't worry about them. Adjust them a little bit. Put some softness in the knees. You just want to feel what you feel in the shoulders. When you're ready, roll onto your belly. Take your time. Let it feel good. And then tee out the other arm, the right arm, while bending the left arm, and roll onto your right hip. Eyes can be closed so you can really feel the sensations here in the shoulder. Just let it feel good. This is a pose you can do standing up too. You can press into a wall. Like imagine the ground right now. Imagine if it were a wall. Kind of the same thing. You've done this perhaps before. Pushed into it like a door frame and let your shoulder feel good. All right, let's finish. No long poses today. We're going to roll over onto our backs and take a brief pentacle pose. So just enjoy the getting there, the rolling over and being comfortable moving your body on the ground. Pentacle pose. That's the pose where you look like a big capital letter X, or I guess a small X too. Bringing your heels toward the edges of your mat or even wider. Lift your arms on up, and that may be the challenge. Lift your arms on up and spread your arms like the letter X. So your body, if someone were to look down upon you, would look like the capital letter X. Adjust your arms so they feel good. Maybe this doesn't feel so great. Perhaps letting those backs of the hands get down to the earth is really, really hard. Well, snow angel your arms a little bit. Maybe make them more like a letter T, if you will. Or, here's a perfect use for the blocks. You could put the blocks underneath your hands here. All right, so just get comfortable. The whole idea here is to just reset. It's nice to let your pinky toes fall toward the earth as you externally rotate your hips a little bit. So if your arms are teed out, maybe after a few breaths you can bring them a little bit higher. You want to encourage that full range of motion in your body. But I don't know what surgeries maybe you've had on your shoulders or what injuries or what limitations you have. We've all got them. We've all got them, and we can't do certain things. Doesn't matter. You modify and you make work what you got so you can have what you got working even longer. All right, so your body's in this big capital letter X. It's a realigning, resetting pose. We do it a lot in a restorative practice, which we do on Thursdays and Sundays. Check us out. We'll do lots of pentacles. But just find peace in having patience with the pose and patience with yourself. That's kind of the hardest thing, isn't it? Breathe in, let your belly rise up to the sky. Breathe out, let your navel come back to touch your spine. Stay here and appreciate the ground. Appreciate the ground because it's making your back nice and straight. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe think of your fingers reaching more to the corners of the room and your feet reaching more to the other two corners of the room. So you're stretched out, big and strong here. When you're ready, let your arms float down by your sides. Bring your legs in a little bit or a lot, and then come on up to seated. Now you can use the ground to press on up, or don't use the ground. Use your core. All right, I'm gonna press on up. I'm gonna use the ground. Why not? Because there's no judgment here, right? All right, send your legs long. Here's another use for your strap or your towel. I'll use the strap just because it's handy and we brought it today. Take your strap, bring it under your feet. Bring it under your feet and pull your toes up toward the sky. Hold on here, lengthen up through your spine, shoulders are over your hips. Feel a nice stretch in your calves. So you got a little seated forward fold going on here, and you've got this strap to help you. The strap always helps, or the towel. Lengthen up and then fold forward again. Knees can be slightly bent. Forehead or your chin or your gaze is working towards your knees. Take it slowly. You're holding on here. Nice work. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Let's take a plank. All right, so we set a timer for a 1-minute plank. Don't let anxiety consume you. It consumes us in so many places. Seek peace. I know it's hard, but it's there. Here's a way you could take your plank. Don't sweat it. You could come down on your back, press your hands up to the sky, and imagine that the ceiling is the earth and you are in a plank. The trick here, keep your core tight. By that, I mean, think of belly button to your spine and just, like you're prepared for a gut punch. Terrible thought, but that's a good cue. Tighten up your gut and hold it strong. I'm gonna take a knee plank today. That's another one that you might want to try. Not bad, you can do it. I'm going to take a knee plank. Maybe you want to take a dolphin plank. That would be down on your forearms with your legs long, and you can be on your knees, or you can tuck your toes towards your shins and pop on up and hold it here. Another variation would be to take your high plank, shoulders over your wrists, legs long, pressing into the ground and holding your high plank for however long feels good for you. Like I said, I'm going to take a knee plank, just letting you know it's doable, and don't judge yourself. Take it easy. For the knee plank, I'm on my knees. I'm going to work them back a little bit, and then I'm going to work my arms forward, and I'm going to have my shoulders over my wrists. We'll set a 1-minute timer that's going to be on the screen now. I'm going to soften a little bit in my bottom to try to get my bottom and my shoulders kind of in one straight line. So fingers are spread wide because you want to increase that surface area that you've got on the ground. If your fingers are spread wide and you're in a plank, you can push a little more weight like a little gecko. Push like your fingers are suction cups. Kind of suction cup your fingers a little bit, but push a little more into your thumb and your pointer finger. Hold it here. Shoulders are over the wrists. Or shoulders are over the wrists. All right, let's see, I haven't even addressed the timer. We've got like 20 seconds to go, so you've been here for about 40 seconds. So whichever variation you're in, trust that it's good, that it's working its magic, it's making a difference. Don't be hard on yourself. If you're in a high plank, engage your core. Hold on, you want to engage your core in all that you got. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did it. Nice job. Let's come out of it. All right, whatever variation you took, give yourself some credit. I mean, seriously, the fact you showed up is the most important part. I'm going to grab a little drink of water, and then we're going to do a little bit more for the core. All right, so this is your yoga. So I hope you're making it work for you. It is a successful yoga practice when you make it work for you, as long as you don't hurt yourself and you feel good. So right now, remember I told you to take a stress number in the beginning? We'll check that back with that in the end too. But just how are you feeling? Think about your shoulders, think about your core. Do you feel a little stronger, a little more flexible, more mobile, just more capable and able to enjoy the rest of your day? I hope so. All right, so let's do a reclined goddess. So here's the deal. You sit on your bottom, Soles of your feet touch, knees open wide. You could use a block. Place the block under your feet and lift your legs up. Soles of the feet are still touching, knees open wide. Here's something else you could do with the blocks. Soles of your feet can touch, knees open wide, but you don't like them hanging out in space. You could take your blocks at whatever height works for you and support your knees. That's a fine way of doing your practice too. Come back to recline. Bring your hands to prayer center. You're going to lengthen up through your spine. We did plank. You've done some core things. Let's lean on back and let's take it with control as you come all the way down to your back. All right, adjust your blocks however you like. Adjust your knees. Maybe you like the support under the knees. Totally good. Those blocks are so versatile. They do so many good things for you. Be comfortable. Use what you got. Most importantly, I want you to recognize today using your props and just modifying so it feels right. All right, so you're reclined here. Shoulders feel good on the earth. Knees are open wide, so there's that external hip rotation again. Maybe work your heels up closer to your groin. Maybe you like that. Or maybe work them further away. No judgment. Arms, tee them out. Now bend your elbows. Elbows are at about shoulder height. You now are bending the elbows, working the forearms parallel to the sides of your mat. There's your goddess pose in your arms. Your arms kind of look like a goalpost or a cactus. You can stay right here. Big pose, good intentions. Be proud of yourself for being here. I'm going to bend my elbows a little bit more, working my fingers lightly to my temples. Then I'm going to do Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Totally up to you. Maybe you stay in your goddess your way. I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to let my chin go up toward the sky as I lift my shoulders a little bit. I'm going to keep my elbows back, then I'm going to come down as I inhale. Up on the exhale, down on the inhale. Little lifts and little lowers. Your call, your way. Don't sweat it. Make it work for you. Maybe today you do 2 of these and you recline back to your goddess. It's all good. Knees open wide, elbows open wide. Lift and lower. And then we'll finish. Come on down, all the way down. How are you doing? Let's bring our knees together at the midline of our body, soles of the feet on the mat. Let's do a bicycle pose. Shoulders away from the ears, palms face down. Lift your legs up, knees over your shoulders, shins parallel to the earth, toes drawn toward your shin. There's the feeling of your tailbone plugged into the mat. A lot of times we roll our tailbone, tipping the pelvis this way or that, but here you go. You can really feel that tailbone on the mat, can't you? Let's start to bicycle. Extend one leg, then the other. Just go through the motions of riding a bicycle here. If you want to change it up a little bit, bend your arms again, bring your fingertips back to your temples, peel the shoulders up, take any of these in layers that you want, and then work opposite elbow toward opposite knee. One leg extends, the other leg bends. Another option is to straighten your legs and scissor kick them. This will get you back into your hips even more. And when you're ready, we'll finish and we'll go into a boat pose. So send your legs along on your mat, arms go high overhead and reach, point your toes, reach your fingers, stick pose. Look like a big, tall, skinny, long number 1. Breathe in. Breathe out, let it go. All right, arms float down by your sides. Find that strap and let's come in to a boat pose. Okay, I've got that big circle in my strap. I'm going to use that again. I'm going to press on up, put the strap, the circle around my feet. And you know, a lot of times when we use it, we just use the strap as one single long like piece of rope and we hold on to it like reins of a horse. This is a fine alternative too. Feet are in the circle and you got the strap. Come on back to recline. Now when you recline, don't slouch in the shoulders. We did that nice big cat pulling its tail, however way you did it, to open up in the pectoral muscles, right? You want to open those up and pull them back so you get a good straight posture in your back. Let's remember that. We're not going to collapse in. We're going to bring the shoulders back. Back is flat and straight. Lean on back, hug the elbows in towards your waist. Lean on back and lift your legs up. Lift your legs up and hold it here. Yesterday, many days we do a boat pose. Yesterday we did a classic boat pose with no strap, and we even rode the boat by letting the elbows touch down on one side or the other. All right, so your chest is lifted. Stay lifted here. Lean on back as if you're in a beach recliner. That sounds good, doesn't it? And just hold it here. Perhaps a little bend in your knees feels good. Make it work for you. All right, so yesterday when we did our boat pose without the strap, I just want to show you a way to do it with the strap. So you'll come back and do your yoga every day and doing it your way. That's the most important thing. All right, so lower the heels down slowly. Lower them slowly, shoulders come up. You got the strap, so make it happen with control. Heels come down, shoulders over your hips. Walk your hand down the strap and just take another little forward fold. Elbows hugged in, nose towards your chin. All right, finish. Remove your strap. Come on down to fully reclined. Take it slowly, all the way down. You're in control. Banana asana, also called like a half crescent moon when we're standing. Here's the deal. Draw your toes towards your shins so your calves are on your mat. Bring your arms up overhead. Bring your palms to touch. Lengthen up here. Stretch. Work your heels to the bottom right corner of your mat. Banana asana pose. You look like a banana, the way a banana's curved. Let your fingertips work toward the top right corner of the mat, and your heels are worked to the bottom right corner of the mat. So you got a curve in your spine here, lateral flexion of your spine. All right, elbows can be bent a little bit if that feels good, but do this for me. Keep your left shoulder down on the earth, so maybe you got to curve that banana a little less. No big deal. Keep your left hip down as well. Stretch it out here. Big stretch. Now take your right hand and grab your left wrist and give your left wrist a little bit of a pull. Oh yeah, that intensifies it. Work your hands back together to touch. Work your hands back up to the midline of your body and your feet too. Take that big stretch in that stick pose. Draw your toes towards your shins. Lengthen through your fingers. Work your heels toward the bottom left corner of your mat and let your arms drift on over to the top left corner of your mat. Right shoulder stays down. Right hip stays down. Stretch. Find length. I find length in my armpit here, and it's nice that we did broken wing earlier. Just a nice little evolution of our practice. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, and give it a little tug. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, good stretch. And then we'll finish. Release your palms back together to touch. Let your arms go high overhead. Let your legs go long, and point your toes to the bottom of your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Draw your toes back up towards your shin. Let your arms float down. Supine twist. Bend your right knee. Interlaced fingers, or use that strap or the towel. Hug the knee in. So think of the strap or the towel as making your arms longer. So hug it in. Use the strap. Pull, pull, pull the strap, bringing the knee closer to your chest. You can interlace your fingers and hug the knee in that way. Circle the right ankle to the right. Circle the right ankle to the left. Now the twist part. Left hand is holding onto your right knee. Let the knee cross over the midline of your body as you roll onto your left hip. Here's the magic part of this pose. Keep your right shoulder down. It helps to tee out the right arm, palm face up, reaching to the right side of your room. Gaze to the right side of your room. The left hand is encouraging the right knee down as you take this big twist. Take a couple of breaths here and soften in your low back. Snap, crackles, and pops are okay as long as they don't hurt. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly bring the right bottom cheek back down to the mat, your gaze back up to the sky, hug the right knee in again, and then release the right leg long. Calf on the mat. Left leg bends, draw it on up, interlaced fingers or towel or your strap under the knee. Hug the knee in, circle the left ankle to the right, circle the left ankle to the left. Hug it in, still the ankle, pull that knee closer to your chest. Now it's the right hand's turn to take the left knee across the midline as you roll onto your right hip. Keep your left shoulder down by teeing out the left arm and looking to the left. Maybe you can't look all the way to your hand. Maybe you look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe you look to the left side of the room, or maybe you look to the left hand. Breathe. Slowly with control, bring your left bottom cheek back down. Hug the left knee in, good and tight. Give it a good squeeze. Release the left leg long onto your mat. Bend both knees, soles of the feet on the mat. We'll do a bridge pose. Arms down by your sides, palms face down. Push into your feet and you lift your hips up. Oh, that feels good in the hip flexors, the front of the hips. Shoulders are down, push hard into your feet. Your legs are strong. Lift a little higher in the hips. Maybe your hands are down here. Maybe take your hands and lift your hips a little bit up. Oh, you can take it higher and hold them up here. Push them up. Then release your hands back down while keeping the hips nice and high and lifted. Slowly with control, bring your spine down one vertebra at a time. Take it slowly. Remember that feeling of the tailbone on your mat? Take your spine down one vertebra at a time, and then when it's time, release that tailbone. Just be conscious of how it feels. There we go. Release the tailbone down, nice and strong. All right, so your feet, your knees are already bent. Work your feet, toe, heel, out to the sides of your mat. Let your knees fall to the right, then let your knees fall to the left. Tee out your arms and look in the opposite direction of which your knees are going. So I've got my knees falling to the left, so I'm going to turn my head and look to the right. Then I'm going to do the opposite. Knees fall to the right, and look to the left. Let it feel good. So get in the rhythm here. Head goes up, knees are up, knees come down, head goes down in the opposite direction. So a little skull massage too, right? So back and forth in your little reclined deer. All right, one more big pose here that we did yesterday. So still your knees and walk your feet back in. All right, yesterday we did a half pigeon pose. Feels great on your hips, but not so much on your knees, perhaps. Here's an alternative to that pose. A great, great variation. Feels good. Send your left bring both knees onto your mat. Bend your right leg and bend your right knee and create a figure 4 in your legs here. So the outside of the right knee is on top of your left thigh. Both hands push the inner right thigh open. Feel that in your hips. Perhaps you lift your left foot up off of the ground. Draw your left toes toward your shin. Draw your right toes towards your shin. Bring that left knee in towards your body. All right, so big stretch here. You can use your strap, you can use your towel. Perhaps take your strap and bring it underneath the knee, low on the left hamstring, and hug it in here. Now you could also use just your hands with interlaced fingers, hugging it in. Using the towel, using the strap is just fine, no big deal. Let's switch it up. Bring that strap now underneath your knee, on the shin. Hug it in here. Perhaps you just interlace your fingers and hug it in here. All the while, as you hug that knee in, the outside of the right knee, drive it toward the bottom of your mat. So you really feel this stretch. Here's another way to intensify it. Your right toes, they're drawn toward your shin, but bring your mind back to that and draw the right toes toward the right shin a little bit more. Hug that left knee in, super duper strong. Now here's what you're gonna do, and you'll feel it kind of fire in the piriformis muscle under your right glute muscles. The right toes are drawn toward your shin. In a moment, you're going to take that whole right foot and send it about 4 to 6 inches to the left. But keep the tight hug going on, and then feel what you feel in your bottom. So move that foot. Ooh, you can just feel like you've delved deeper, another level into your muscles here. Hold it, then let it go. Left foot comes down, right foot comes down. We're gonna do it on the other side. Right foot is planted, left leg lifts. Create the figure 4 in your legs, outside of the left ankle, on the right thigh. Push the inner left thigh open. Lift the right leg up using your hands or your strap underneath the knee, low on the hamstring. Hug it in, pull it in. Draw the toes towards the shins. Hug it in, pull it in. Maybe this is right where you stay. Perhaps interlaced fingers under the knee on the shin. Hold it here. Draw the toes toward the shin, and when you're ready, the left foot is going to move about 4 or 6 inches to the right while you feel, oh my goodness, the tight sensation of the stretch in that left glute. Left foot comes down, right foot comes down, brief little bridge pose. Hips go high, arms down by your sides. Whew. Roll the spine down, one vertebra at a time, and let your legs go long. Eye shade and towel, hopefully they're not too far away. Grab them and cover your eyes with one or the other. Arms down by your sides, wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine, heels toward the edges of your mat. Maybe move your legs, kind of pinky toe reaches toward the earth, and then the big toes reach in toward the center, and just loosen up in your legs. Palms face up, big breath in, and a big breath out. Soften in the jaws, soften the area between your eyebrows. And if you've got your remote control nearby, this is the time for you to hit pause if you want and stay in your final Shavasana pose longer. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. Whatever feels nice for you, take it. And then when you're ready to conclude your hour practice, you just hit play again and you join us right back here. So take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to circle your wrists and your ankles. Just move them around. Feel the motion there. Inhale, reach high overhead and take a big good morning stretch, kind of like you did in Bird Dog. Point your toes this time. Reach your fingers long to the top of the mat. Feel the goodness in your shoulders. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Bend your elbow, rest your head, take a breath. Work your way up with or without your hands to a comfortable seated position. Whatever's comfortable, sit that way. Hands to prayer center, eyes closed, lengthen up, and then shoulders soften up. Gently blink, your eyes open. Congratulations, you did it. 1 hour of yoga. You took a stress number in the beginning, check it out. What is it now? I guarantee it's lower because your stress comes down and your body feels more flexible and more mobile. Say this to yourself today. Yes, I can. Yes, I did. And yes, I will. Fill in the blank. Make a decision and give it a try. See you on your mats tomorrow for your yoga. I love you guys. Bye. Good girl. Good girl. See ya.
Good girl.
Congratulations.
You did it. 1 hour of yoga. You did it. You succeeded. I hope you're enjoying your yoga. It's doing wonders for your body. It really is. Every single day, come back, try it out, and enjoy it. Tell your friends about our yoga. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody, and we're on Facebook and YouTube. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. But whatever you do, show up, do your yoga, and enjoy your day.